Hi fantasy managers, and welcome to FPL Team Talks. So in this video I am going to go through some of my transfer tips for game week 5. We're going to have a look at some of those top players that have been transferred in, top players that have been transferred out, take a look at what we think of some of those players, and look at some other options of players I'm interested in. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, please give it a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and in the meantime, let's get into it. The first player on my watch list then is Dominic Calvert-Lewin at 5.9. He's a pretty decent cheap option. He has good fixtures coming up. Leicester away, Palace at home, even Newcastle conceding goals, and then Ipswich look like a decent set of fixtures. 40,000 managers have brought him already, so it's not a huge amount. He's still, I would class as a differential. He has started every game this season. And Everton are scoring goals. It would be said though that even though they have scored 4 in the last 2 games, and as obviously as we know, well publicised, they've conceded 6, turning over those 2 goal deficits each time. They're actually the third worst for expected goals in the Premier League. I think even Southampton, who have scored once, are expected to score more than Everton. But nonetheless, they are at least putting the ball in the back of the net. And you know with Calvert-Lewin, he's going to be playing on pens. I like the price. I like the fixtures. 2 goals, 1 assist. He's already got some returns. He's outperforming his XGI, which is pretty decent at 0.5. I do like him. I think I'm going to struggle to bring him in terms of I'm just not sure I want to bring an Everton player in. I just don't know if I'm confident enough that Everton are going to produce enough chances for Calvert-Lewin to score enough goals. And there just seems to be a few other strikers out there that I'd rather go for. But I don't think he's a bad punt. The fixtures look decent. He does look nailed. Always feels like he's just a possible injury risk. But at the moment, fingers crossed, he looks good. Not a bad option. If you want to go for him, I wouldn't dissuade you from having him. I just wonder if there's a few better options. Talking of better options then, possibly Jamie Vardy. Wow, he keeps going. I didn't think we'd ever produce a video where he was going to be one of the players we're looking at and bringing in. 80,000 managers have done already. He's got 2 goals. His expected goal involvement is less than that of Calvert-Lewin, but the fixtures look decent. Everton at home. Arsenal away is not a game that you want to be targeting. Then you have Bournemouth and Southampton, so they're 2 decent fixtures. Again, is he on pens? We expect him to be on pens. He's started every game so far, and his XGI looks decent. Would be said again, even though Leicester have scored a couple of goals, 2 at the weekend, they actually have got the second lowest XGI in the league. So again, that just doesn't bode well. And again, I'm just not sure about Jamie Vardy. For me, 5.6 is slightly cheaper than Calvert-Lewin. I think I probably would prefer to pay the extra money and go for Calvert-Lewin. But Vardy's definitely on a watch list. He's one I don't know if he does well against Everton, I'm not bringing him in for Arsenal, but then those 2 fixtures, Bournemouth, Southampton, possibly on a wild card, maybe consider him. Another one I really like the look of is Nketiah. Now, obviously, he's not played many games. His underlying stats look all right, but it's a real small sample size. His fixtures look okay. He's obviously playing for Palace, 5.9 million, decent price. You would say Mateta is definitely the one who's going to be playing up front. But it's interesting that Glasgow have come out and they basically, he said, and I'm quoting, wouldn't have paid 25 million for him to sit on the bench. So it sounds like he's definitely going to be getting game time. Fixtures Man U at home wouldn't scare me. Everton away looks decent. Even Liverpool at home, I think Palace can score. And then you have Forest, even with their improved defence, I think there's still a chance he can score. If he plays every game, and we've seen it with Arsenal, his underlying stats have always been really, really good. However, that is with Arsenal creating chances. I'm not expecting Palace to be quite as free-flowing as Arsenal, clearly. But 5.9, again, is a really good price. I like Nketiah. I do think he's a real good differential. He's looked sharp, and even in the FL Cup, he looked decent. I like him. He's one to watch for me. I'm not sure I'm going to be rushing to bring him in at the moment, but I do like Eddie Nketiah. One that I'd be definitely looking at on a wild card, especially with Fulham at home. Decent fixtures coming up, even at Chelsea away. At the moment, away for us playing, you wouldn't bet against them scoring. He's got 2 goals so far, great XGI 0.77, played every game so far, and his underlying stats just look great. I think he's really good. He's not on pens because obviously they'll have Gibbs White, and I don't think we're going to wrestle them off, penalties off him. But he just looks really good. His form at the end of last season was really good as well. Under Nuno De Santos, he just seems to really brought the best out in him. Feels like Owinyi, possibly. They've got other options up front. I don't know. The fixtures look great. I do like him. I think out of all the strikers we've picked at so far, he would be my preferred option at 6.1. I know what I'm going to get with him, and I know I'm going to get the minutes as well. I just think he looks like a really good option. Sticking with Forest, and not an attacking option, but defensively, they've just been brilliant. So far this season, they are the third best defence in terms of expected goals conceded. He just looks really good. He doesn't offer much going forward end yet, very, very little. That's not his expected goal involvement stats. But considering they've played Liverpool away from home, they've got the third best defence in the league. It's really impressive, and they have much kind of fixtures coming up. In a wildcard, I'm definitely considering bringing in a Nottingham Forest defender, and Aina would be up there. So I don't want to. I'm almost going down the route, I think, with a wildcard and defenders. I don't want to spend a lot because there's so few clean sheets out there. 4.4 for one of the best defences in the league, and we'll have to start to consider that to be a serious consideration for Forest. I don't think it's bad. So he's one I'm definitely looking at. Luis Diaz, been brought in by quite a few managers, one of the highest scoring points players in the league in terms of midfield. And I do get it. Great underlying stats, unbelievable underlying stats of over a goal involvement per game. And nearly 100,000 managers have already brought him in. Fixtures look decent. They do turn a little bit after game week 6. And I just think he looks great. 7.7 is a decent price. I just wonder, it's just the minutes, constant minutes for Diaz. Gakpo, you feel, is going to get starts at some point. Jota can play out wide. Will Darwin go to season without starting games? That feels unlikely. And so many European fixtures now being played more with the new format in the Champions League. I just wonder whether Diaz will get some rotation. At the moment, he looks a great option. Certainly not someone I'll be selling. Bringing him in, it's the minutes for me that just worry. And there's a few other players that I think I would prefer to go to. That's it for this one then. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your transfer plans are then for game week 5. In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection before the deadline, and then we are possibly going to be wildcarding in game week 6. That is the plan anyway, so we'll produce or put out a wildcard team ready for that and the deadline. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, please give a like. Meantime, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.